Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you for our time together. Tomorrow night, we're back into the January schedule. Wow, it's at South Campus tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We look forward to a wonderful night of music, a wonderful night of worship, a wonderful night of healing. We'll see you in the Wow Night. South Campus, 7 o'clock. Right now, I want us to come back to the book of Matthew chapter 3, verse 17. And a voice from heaven, this is at the baptism of Jesus, and a voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, and I am fully pleased with him." New Living Translation. NIV said, "This is my Son whom I love and with whom I am well pleased." This is three things every father should speak to his children. Three things every child needs to hear from your father. This is my son. Fathers, you need to stand up and take ownership of your kids. You need to stand in public and be proud of your kids. This is my son. This is my daughter. I'm so proud of them. Look at what they've done. Your kids need to feel they belong to you. They need to hear those words. This is my son. I'll never forget the first time I heard my father do that for me. I was standing in Mr. Thompson's clothing store in Spanish Fort, Alabama, 14 years old, didn't have any clothes for school. My dad wanted me to go order some clothes up at the little clothing store. This little place, there was no shopping malls or anything. There was just a little men's store. My dad said, "Go up, pick up what you want and put it on the bill. Just sign it to our family," because they would come in once a month and pay the bill. And I went in and the guy looked at me and said, "I know Chuck Sumrall and he doesn't have a son." And I walked all the way back home that day, and it was a long walk up this big hill. I walked all the way up there. And I'll never forget, people around here don't even know my dad has a son. Because I had just been sent to live with my dad. I hadn't known him since I was 3 years old. And I was so hurt. My dad got home. My dad said, "Did you get some clothes for school?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "Why not?" I said, "They wouldn't let me sign for it." "Why not?" I said, "He says you don't have a son." And I looked my dad straight in the face. And he saw my eyes. The anger, the hurt, the resentment of all those years of being without a dad. He said, "Come with me." We got in this big red Buick Wildcat that he had, and we drove up to Mr. Thompson's. I didn't have to walk this time at least. And he walked up to the guy, and he said, "I want to introduce you to somebody. This is my son. Anything he signs for in here goes on my family's bill, and I'm good for it. This is my son." And I remember thinking, yeah, dude. I mean, like, put you in your place. But it wasn't as much that as it was, for the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged to somebody. I'll never forget the change it made in my life. He claimed me. Parents, this is my son. This is my daughter. Claim them. Whom I love. Your kids need to always hear that you love them. Well, they know I love them because I pay their bills. No. They need to hear the words. The Father spoke those words to Jesus, his son. Parents, the kids need to hear you say, "I love you." They need to hear those words. Hear them on a regular basis. "With whom I'm well pleased." Your kids hear it when you're mad at them. I mean, they hear it when you raise your voice and yell at them. They need to hear it when you're pleased with them. When they've done a good job, they need to hear you say, "Son, you did good. Daughter, you did good." I'll never forget one of my relatives looking at me one time years ago, and he said, "I never once in my life heard my father say that he was proud of me or that I'd done well." And I remember thinking, what a horrible way to live. What a horrible way to live. My father wasn't a Christian at the time, but he always told me how proud he was of me when I got good grades, when I got scholarships in university, when I'd done a good job doing something. My dad always told me, "Son, I'm pleased. Son, you've done well." Kids need to hear it. They hear us yell at them. They need to hear us be proud of them too.